What you should see after logging into the portal for the first time is something like this in the dashboard or analytics screens. Currently, they are the same. That will change in the future, but for now, let's focus on what we can learn from just this page alone. Now, as we look at the dashboard screen, we'll see all of our campaigns that are available right now that are currently tracking advertisements. Let's focus down on one that you have in your account. This is what you should see in your demo account. It's called the Beanwater Brewery for various trademark purposes. And the Beanwater Brewery is a hypothetical coffee shop in Louisville, Kentucky. What you'll see here is a series of cones, or triangles, and these little triangles each represent a billboard and its viewing radius, its visible radius. So what you'll see here is these little dots. Each one of these dots represents the billboard itself, and then the cone represents where people might be able to see that billboard. The red squares that you'll see are conversion targets. So what we want to measure is who goes from this cone or this cone into these little squares. Who sees a billboard and then goes somewhere because of that billboard. Pretty cool, right? And this is all something that you can do with our platform itself, and you can get detailed reporting and statistics from it. Now, while our platform itself, the dashboard will show you some of these pieces of information, where you're really going to get the most usefulness out of this is by downloading a report over here and just waiting a few moments for our system to go ahead and kick that over to you in a CSV. That'll download, assuming you have your pop-ups enabled from us and that you are not blocking our site from allowing downloads. So make sure that you're doing that, as Chrome will sometimes automatically prevent you from doing this, and there will be a little pop-up somewhere in the top of the screen that'll let you know that that we're attempting to download something onto your computer. Usually websites that do this are doing the right thing, kind of like us. They're trying to deliver a useful product, but sometimes scammers take advantage of this, so that's why Google does that. So just a heads up, you might need to disable pop-up blocking. And what will happen is you will get this report downloaded, which we can go over later. Now that we've seen a little bit about how this works and what this looks like, let's go ahead and set one up real quick, just to make things simple and straightforward. So let's jump into billboards here. So we've got our ad editor, and we have a chance to select our campaign type. An ad or campaign would be one of our own vehicles in our inventory. A fleet vehicle would be if you had your own fleet of, say, box trucks or perhaps even mobile billboards. And then, of course, there's the billboard itself, which we're going to be focusing on today. So let's go ahead and open this up, and once we hit billboard, we'll see a couple of options that load in. The first is the campaign name, so we'll call this Demo Video Campaign, and we'll drive traffic to our wonderful website, adder.io. Now this campaign URL is completely optional right now. We will have some auto generation features in the future for things like QR codes, but for now, you can put it there if you want. If not, not a big deal. We do not require that data point. So let's just go ahead and get started, though, on setting up a couple billboards. And I have one in New Albany on I-64, right before you cross the river. It's actually facing this direction. I remember, actually, it's called, there's a pharmacy down here. That's very interesting, called Butt Drugs Pharmacy. I'm not making that up. You should look them up. So let's say their billboard is right here. And let's go ahead and put down a conversion target. Let's say their business, we don't know this for sure, but we're going to pretend that their business is over here somewhere. So we're going to zoom in a little bit and just draw a conversion target around this area that we're going to assume is where we want to drive traffic to. So anybody that walks inside of this square, after seeing our initial cone, is going to be somebody that we count as a conversion. And it looks like I got an extra dot right here. What you do if you have an extra dot, you just right click on that extra dot, hit OK, and that one will go away. Same thing with billboards. If you don't like your billboard being where it's placed, just right click on it, select billboards, then right click on it, and it will go away. And you can, of course, reposition it wherever you need to, however you need to. Now, right now, there's not a feature to drag and drop these billboards around, so you just have to delete them and then place them again. But you can place as many as 10 conversion targets per campaign that you've set up on here. So for each one of these campaigns that we're doing, which is this whole workflow that we're in right now, setting up a campaign, we can have 10 conversion targets, so up to 10 stores we can track. Now, we can track as many billboards as we want. And of course, our pricing is determined based on usage. So instead of charging for things that people aren't using, we try to just have people pay for however many billboards they have in the system to keep things simple and straightforward. We're a startup. We understand companies that don't always have a lot of money to spend, and we're happy to kind of meet in the middle a little bit there. So let's go ahead and throw down a couple more conversion targets, just so you can see the process. There you go. Here's conversion target. Let's put one over here. Why not? It's pretty simple. It's just like drawing a shape in Paintbrush or in Photoshop if you're familiar. If not, well, here's me making you familiar with it. Eh? check out what we're doing here. It's pretty simple. We're just drawing a shape, and there you go. The green dot represents the starting point, and your shape will be considered complete when you hit the green dot a second time. So there you go. And why not? Let's throw another billboard down. That's a lot of stuff going on there, huh? Why do they need a billboard if there's so many locations right around the corner? Well, that's for them to figure out, not me. So normally we would charge out per billboard here, but we're changing our account charge out systems right now. If you have any trouble with this, you should go ahead and reach out to us at support@adder.io or r.kimberling@adder.io to reach out to Russ, and he will be able to help you walk through the process of charging out and getting your account set up. That should cover us for now. We'll come back a little bit later on to talk a bit more about how to properly set up a vehicle advertising campaign and what to do with some of this data after you get it. Again, I'm Ian Gerard with Adder. Thanks for watching.